On March 24, 2013, Alisa Sherman was waiting outside her divorce attorney's office in downtown Cleveland. It was a late Sunday afternoon, and she had been there for nearly an hour. The meeting mattered. Her divorce trial was scheduled to begin the next day, and this was meant to resolve the final details before court. Surveillance footage later showed her pacing the sidewalk, checking her phone, and standing near the entrance, clearly expecting someone to arrive. As time passed, the temperature dropped. At approximately 5 p.m., a hooded individual entered the edge of the camera's frame. Their face was covered. There was no indication that Alisa noticed them at first. Within moments, the waiting ended. The attack. A passerby heard screaming and found Alisa Sherman collapsed on the pavement. She had suffered multiple stab wounds and was bleeding heavily. She was conscious briefly. The only words she was able to say were, "I'm dying." Emergency services were called immediately. A bystander stayed with her and followed instructions from the 911 dispatcher until paramedics arrived. Alisa was transported to Metro Health Medical Center. She was pronounced dead at 6:14 p.m. The medical examiner later confirmed that she had been stabbed 11 times. The investigation begins. The following morning, downtown Cleveland resumed its usual routine, but one sidewalk remained sealed off. Traffic was redirected. Pedestrians were diverted around the scene. A homicide investigation was underway. At the time, no one knew it would last more than a decade. Who Alisa Sherman was? Alisa Sherman was 53 years old. She worked as a nurse at the Cleveland Clinic and specialized in fertility care. Her patients came from across the country, often during some of the most emotionally difficult periods of their lives. Colleagues described her as deeply compassionate and highly skilled. Her work extended far beyond clinical treatment. She supported patients through uncertainty, loss, and hope. She was also a mother of 4. At the time of her death, she was in the middle of a long and contentious divorce from her husband of 30 years, Dr. Sanford Sherman. The process had consumed much of her energy and attention, but friends said she was focused on moving forward. 10 days before she was killed, she sent her brother a message. "Trial in 2 weeks. Hopefully there is life after death." Early findings. As investigators processed the scene, several possibilities were quickly ruled out. This was not a robbery. Alisa's phone and jewelry were still with her. There were no signs of sexual assault. Surveillance footage showed the suspect fleeing the scene shortly after the attack. The individual was dressed entirely in black, with their face concealed. The footage offered little beyond general height and build. From the outset, detectives believed the attack was deliberate. A daytime killing. One detail stood out almost immediately. The murder had occurred in broad daylight, around 5 p.m., on a street with active pedestrian traffic and multiple surveillance cameras. People were still moving through the area, and nearby offices overlooked the sidewalk. This was not a secluded location, and yet, the attacker managed to escape without being identified. That contradiction, visibility without clarity, became central to the investigation. Waiting for someone. Phone records revealed that Alisa sent several text messages while standing outside the building. None were answered. Investigators believed she had not arrived by chance. She was waiting for a specific person, at a specific place, for a planned meeting. The length of time she stayed suggested expectation, not uncertainty. The attack appeared targeted. What investigators could not determine, at least at first, was why. Attention turns to the divorce. Given the timing of the murder, investigators naturally examined Alisa's ongoing divorce. The trial was set to begin the very next morning, adding urgency to the timeline. They attempted to speak with her estranged husband. According to former Cleveland Deputy Chief Ed Tomba, communication was handled exclusively through an attorney. He declined to be interviewed. He was never publicly named as a suspect and was never charged. Still, the silence raised questions. As Alisa's scheduled court date arrived, her family was instead planning her funeral. Police released still images from the surveillance footage, hoping the public might recognize the fleeing figure. Tips came in from across the region, but none led to an arrest. Weeks passed, then months, then years. The case remained open, but progress was slow. Grief and persistence. Friends and family refused to let the case fade. Vigils were held near the site of the murder. An awareness campaign, Justice for Alisa, was formed to keep pressure on investigators and keep her name visible. Alisa's best friend, Jan Lash, later recalled speaking with her just hours before she was killed. It was an ordinary conversation, concerns about court, everyday life. Nothing about it felt final. 2 years passed without an arrest, then more, a shift in focus. Nearly 3 years after the murder, the investigation took a significant turn. In January 2016, a grand jury indicted Gregory Moore, Alisa Sherman's divorce attorney. The charges were not for murder. They included evidence tampering, obstruction of justice, and making false statements to police. Moore had been the last person Alisa planned to meet that day. Investigators noted inconsistencies in his account, including claims that he had forgotten the meeting and had been inside his office at the time. Digital evidence contradicted those claims, a pattern of deception. Investigators discovered Moore had deleted thousands of text messages, including messages exchanged with Alisa on the day she was killed. As they dug deeper, they uncovered something else. Moore had previously called in bomb threats to courthouses in order to delay his own legal proceedings. In 2017, he pleaded guilty to falsification and inducing panic. He served jail time and later surrendered his law license. Despite this, Alisa Sherman's murder remained officially unsolved. Years without resolution. 5 years passed, then 6, then more than a decade. Publicly, the case appeared stalled. Privately, investigators continued reviewing evidence and applying new techniques. In 2024, Alisa's ex-husband died. Still, no one had been charged with her murder. The arrest. In May 2025, Cleveland police announced that a person of interest had been identified. Shortly afterward, Gregory Moore was arrested in Texas. This time, the charges were severe: aggravated murder, conspiracy, multiple counts of murder, and kidnapping. Prosecutors alleged that Moore had orchestrated and participated in Alisa Sherman's killing. According to the indictment, Moore had planned the crime months in advance. Prosecutors alleged the motive was to prevent Alisa from appearing in court for her divorce trial. They stated that Moore arranged the meeting, disconnected his phone to avoid tracking, and used alternative devices. Alisa's final text messages reflected confusion, locked doors, unanswered messages, uncertainty about where he was. Minutes later, she was attacked. Investigators alleged the assailant was either Moore himself or an unnamed co-conspirator. Contradictions after the murder. After the attack, Moore reconnected his phone and repeatedly called Alisa. Investigators stated that his actions and statements following the murder were inconsistent and contradictory. Despite claiming he had forgotten the meeting, he contacted her numerous times. Days later, the divorce case was dismissed. Moore pleaded not guilty. He posted a $2 million bond and was released under strict conditions, including GPS monitoring and travel restrictions. His trial was scheduled for late 2026. DNA evidence recovered from the scene was approved for independent testing. If prosecutors' allegations are proven in court, the case raises a troubling question. The person Alisa trusted to guide and protect her through one of the most difficult periods of her life may have been the person who placed her in danger. What remains? Long before her name appeared in headlines, Alisa Sherman's name appeared in thank you cards, birth announcements, and family stories. Her work helped create families that still exist today. Her final exchange with her best friend ended simply, "Love you." The day she was killed did not feel extraordinary at the time. It felt routine, ordinary. That ordinariness is what continues to define the case and why it has never fully let go.